Oh my god, this is beaming. We're just gonna have to go with it. So hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is the third video that I have. So we're gonna just talk about my hair journey. I figured we could just start from the beginning, not the beginning as in my birth, because what would be the point of that? But growing up, I had pretty thick hair. My mom had it in the same styles all the time. It was just like two little pigtails with braids, and I would just get super excited about. We had like a tub filled with just different kinds of barrettes and baubles, and I would just get excited to color coordinate it with my outfit for the day. But that really was just my hairstyle from like the first time she ever did it, probably like in my toddlers, all the way up to like 6th, 7th grade. That's all I really did. And I was okay with like the pigtails and the twists. Like, it didn't matter to me. It really wasn't until middle school that I got obsessed with straightening my hair. Like, I wanted it straight. I wanted it like touching my shoulders. I wanted the wind to blow through it. I wanted to run my hair through it like Farrah Fawcett. Like, everything to me was just straight hair. And I went to a predominantly white middle and high school. My two best friends, one was Moroccan and the other one was white, and they had really straight hair, like down to the back, the butt. Like, they had really strong hair. Not strong, well, maybe it was strong, but they had really long hair, and I used to get like so jealous because I'd have this like every now and then my mom would let me get braids if she was, you know, if it was in the budget, but she was not trying to go out of her way to give me all these elaborate hairstyles. I wish, but that wasn't her. So I just had to go around like with the hair that I had. So she bought me a flat iron. I begged her for months. Finally, she took me to TJ Maxx. I walked in there. I knew what the flat irons were. Like, I'd been practicing this for a while now. So it was just a straight dash to the back, to the right, past the jewelry, right near the socks. They had a little section with all the beauty cosmetics, and I got myself a Chi flat iron. And I was so excited. I went home, straightened my hair, and there was no routine. Like, normally you're supposed to wash your hair and then you condition your hair and you've got a heat protectant, and even when you're blow drying hair, it's on like low heat, and then you put more heat protectant and then you straighten it, and none of that. It was just took my hair out of the ponytails that it was in and just turned that heat all the way up to 425 and straightened it. And I thought I was the prettiest thing ever. Like, my hair was straight, it was moving, it was beautiful. And I really just stuck with that routine. Now, I would wash my hair, but there was no conditioning. There was no heat protectant. And so, obviously, what could you imagine happened? My hair broke off. And it broke off bad. Like, if you saw me from the front, it was okay. But as soon as you hit the back, because the back started breaking off first, the back of my head was probably like this long. And the rest was probably like to my chin. So it looked really weird, but I didn't want to cut it off, and my mom was like, well, you need to get it cut because it looks crazy anyway. But I just didn't want to, like, I didn't want to lose the length, even though I knew it looked crazy. So I stretched that out for as long as I possibly could. My stepfather, he's a barber, so he was like, Christina, like, you should just cut it off. So I had been like battling the idea on and off, playing around with it. Like, one day I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do it. The next day I'd be like, no, not for me. And then one day I just got so fed up with it. I was in the hallway at school, and I was walking down like the B stairs, and this guy, I don't even know who it was, and he was like, oh my god, look at her hair. And I didn't even look back, and I was surrounded by a bunch of people, but I knew he was talking to me. Like, he had to be talking about me because everybody else's hair is fine, and I was already conscious about it. So I texted my stepdad as soon as I got to my next class, and I said, hey, like, can you bring your tools home? He brought his tools home. I got home. We set up the chair in the living room. He asked me if I wanted to have the mirror there so I could see, and I told him, like, no, I don't want to see it while you're doing it. Just do it. I'll look at myself after. So I'm sitting there, and he's like, are you sure? And he turns the razor on. I'm like, yeah, like, just hurry up and go. And he goes, floop, like, right down the middle of my head. Like, and I just remember being in shock. And I was so, like, I was panicking. Like, what in the world would make me do this? This was not cute. And I I begged my mom not to let me go back to school the next day. I begged her, please. And she was like, no, like, you think you're grown, you think you're an adult, you want to cut off your hair, you made that decision, you're going to school. Like, it is what it is. It's not like you can take off tomorrow and by, you know, the next day you're going to have your hair back. It doesn't work like that. It's either you're going to go into school bald-headed tomorrow, or you're still going to go to school bald-headed on Friday. So I get to my, I think it was AP Psychology, AP Psych, and I get to the class, and one of the girls who sits next to me, I forget her name, but we would talk a lot. And so I asked her, I said, hey, like, do you like my hair? And she was like, no, you look like a boy. And I was just in shock. Here's how it makes matters worse. I send a picture to my dad, right? I send a picture to my dad. I'm like, hey, do you like my hair? You know what he says to me? Wow, Christina, I've always wanted a son. I was so hurt. I was so hurt. And so fast forward a couple days, couple weeks, I got used to it. And then I think that's where the fun came in. Like, I started becoming a product junkie. I was going to just multiple like Sally stores and getting products and putting avocado on my hair and egg in my hair and mayonnaise in my hair and watching all these little YouTube videos. Not even in like, there weren't as many YouTube videos about natural hair as there are now. It was very limited. And I wish I had as many videos as there are now. My hair grew out, and then I graduated high school, right? So now I'm in college. The hair just kept growing. I mean, I went to an HBC. There were plenty of other people with natural hair, so it wasn't like a, whoa, look at her hair. It was like, hey, Christina. So sophomore year, I went home for Christmas, and my hair it grew a pretty decent amount. So I decided to straighten it. I just wanted to see, like, you know, I had an itch. I wanted to see how long it had gotten. And let me be clear, like, I have no problem with straightening my hair. I don't think people who straighten their hair don't really care about their hair or wear wigs or and any of that stuff. In fact, I love a nice wig. I'm still learning. I'm new to the wig game. But I was not managing my hair. You know, I wasn't maintaining it. I wasn't taking care of it. I was just straightening it, had no routine, and that's why my hair broke off. So I straightened it again, and I used products this time, but I think the heat was just too high. And then a couple days went by, took amazing Christmas photos. The hair was beautiful, took amazing Christmas photos. But then like 4 or 5 days had passed and I was ready, you know, to wash it. So I'm washing the hair and my hair would not curl back up. It was like this straight, a little curled, straight, a loose wave, just horrible. So what I did the same thing I did the first time. Called my stepdad, said, hey, can you bring tools home? He brought the tools home, bloop, cut all my hair off. I went back to A&T, and I mean, I'm not gonna say people were mean about it. There's nothing that anybody could have said other than like, oh, you're bald-headed, and I mean, that's not a negative. People try to make it a negative connotation, but I mean, it wasn't to me. I had done this before, you know. There's nothing that you could say to me to make me feel bad about the decision I made about my hair. It's not like it was my first time cutting all my hair off. So I think, you know, my best friends at the time, I had 2 of them, they were more shocked about it than I was, but it was just like, yeah, I mean, like, say what you want, you know, haha, that's funny, the jokes come and go, but nothing was, you know, fazing me that much because I'd already known, I'd already done it. So that's when I decided to, like, maintain the cut. Now, in order for me to maintain the cut, I had to go to a barbershop. The first time that I walked in the barbershop was so nerve-wracking. I was terrified. I was terrified of it all. Mostly because I'd been in a barbershop before. My stepfather, he works at a barbershop, but every time he cut my hair, he brought his tools home. I couldn't do that at A&T. I had to walk right across the street, and I would have to go into the barbershop, and I would have to sit there and ask somebody to cut my hair, and it was just like I'd always seen a barbershop as a space for men, not women. You know, that wasn't something that I was quite used to. And I had to get used to it. Oh, this lighting is horrible. Hold on. So I went in and I asked the first guy that I saw at the first chair, I was like, hey, can you do my hair? Can you cut my hair? And his response, he said, no, I don't cut women's hair. And I felt so rejected. I was ready to walk out. Like, I wanted to walk out right then and there. And then that's when Rod stepped up and he was like, hey, like, as soon as I get finished with him, I'll cut your hair. And Rod, like, he was such a savior in that moment for me, because I was like, I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry because I just felt like I said before, I just felt rejected. Like, oh, like, you don't want to cut my hair, great, like, I'll just, you know, I'll just leave now. So that was nice of him. And Rod and I stuck together for 2 years. Like, I never went to anybody else to cut my hair other than my stepdad when I went home. That was it. It was just me and Rod and me. And I was okay with that. I got much more comfortable to the point, like, when I would walk in, like, I was talking to the other barbers, I was in the conversation. The first, like, 6 months, I was pretty quiet. Like, I was just like, oh, can you do this? Like, here's the money, thanks, bye. But then, like, as I got comfortable sitting there, being in that environment with other men, and then, like, slowly but surely, like, I'm not gonna say I was the first female to walk into the barbershop. I definitely wasn't. But I started seeing, like, a more, like, there was a fluctuation of females that would come into. I didn't start the trend, obviously. I think I was just there when they were there, or maybe it was just like a time where more, I don't know. I did a couple of things with my tapered cut. We did blonde highlights, and then I dyed it back black. I did braids. I loved braids, but I really don't feel like braids are such a protective style these days, just because they've done, for me, they've done a lot more damage to my hair than good, especially when it comes to your edges, because I mean, I want them tight. Like, I want a nice clean triangle or square, whichever, you know, the pattern I get, and that's put me in a lot of sticky situations with my hair. My hair doesn't like that. So graduated college, and I made the decision, okay, I want to see how long my hair can grow. Like, I just want to see where I can get it to. And that's sort of just been the journey that I'm on now. Since then, I've dyed it red. I've dyed it back to black. I've gotten lots of box braids. I tried a little thing, like, with wigs, and that was a lot of fun. I changed my name. I changed my name to Olivia for, like, a weekend. And after I dyed my hair red, I really, like, I haven't touched dye since. There's 2 things that I would like to know how to do. One is cornrow. Still can't do that. And baby hairs. I've never done baby hairs because I don't know how to do baby hairs. Every time I do baby hairs with Eco Styler gel, some type of, like, heavy pomade that's not water based, it does not work in my hair. And then, but they're so cute. I mean, all of a sudden it feels like in the past, like, you know, 4 or 5 years, everybody has baby hairs now. Somebody told me that people, like, make a little, like, they get, like, a rat tooth comb and they cut, like, their hairline to create baby hairs. And for me, like, it's never going to be that serious. But if I could do it, I would definitely do it. So we'll see. Other than that, thank you guys for joining another story time. I know this was probably long and dragged out, but that's really what my story times are going to be like. Sorry. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you back on my next video. Bye.